What's up, everybody? Welcome to the New England Pitmasters YouTube channel. Today, I'm with my co-pitmaster and moderator of New England Pitmasters, Mr. Mike Hamel.
What's up, everybody?
And today, we're gonna make smoked queso dip in the offset smoker.
Yes, sir.
With this guy right here. All right. Guys, we're here. Mike Hamel.
What's up, everybody?
He's gonna take us through the list of ingredients and let us know the process of how to make this ever so popular smoked queso dip that we're seeing everywhere on Instagram and
it's going crazy right now,
mom's
isn't it?
Facebook page, everywhere. It's really everywhere.
I know everybody's doing one. I think.
And you've known it's been around forever.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
why so popular now, do you think?
I think right now with everybody being home, Greg, you know, they're looking for different ideas, different ways that they can use their smoker. I mean, come on, you're gonna do brisket, you're gonna do ribs, you're gonna do a pork butt.
Yep.
We need other things, right? So what I'm trying to get for you guys here is an alternative to just simply smoking meat all the time and show you some other fun items. They're great for the family. They're great for big barbecues, small parties, whatever. Kids love it. Mm-hmm. Something you can just throw on. You can throw on the side, have it as an app, or even have it as a meal. And we'll see why in a minute why I think this is a meal level queso that I do. All right.
So we are going to basically, we actually smoked a pork butt today as well. So we're gonna probably have, that's resting. We're gonna let that rest for a couple hours. And we're probably gonna have this queso dip as an appetizer.
Yeah.
So let's see what's going on. What do you got for ingredients?
All right, so ingredients-wise, guys, really open-ended. I definitely encourage people to play around with these things, but obviously there's some basics. There's some things that you have to have. First thing that you have to have is you got to have some cheese, right? Now, my preference on queso is to go with something a little bit mild, right? I want the smoke flavor and I want all the ingredients to really take off inside of this, but more than that, I also want a cheese that melts down really good. You see a lot of guys using things like cheddar cheeses and different kind of guajillo cheeses and these types of things. For my money, you can never go wrong with American cheese. But what I do is I kind of bring it up a little bit of a higher level, and I've got a sharp American cheese here.
I didn't know you really made that, to be honest with you.
You know, it was a new one on me as well, Greg, but I tell you what, ask your butcher, go down to the deli shop or wherever you like to buy your cheeses and your meats and ask them, chances are they've got a sharp American cheese. So I like to go with that.
Yep.
We get 2 pounds of that.
Okay.
And then, of course, you can never go wrong with some smoked Gruyere.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, come on, guys.
100%.
Flavor-wise, this is like the go-to. Going to give you that smoky flavor that we're trying to get off the smoke as well, just kind of more enhance that, provide that foundation.
And ride that over like a smoked gouda.
This is a smoked gouda.
Oh, is that? Wait, you said Gruyere?
I said Gruyere, so
You said Gruyere.
I did say
So
Gruyere.
Gruyere.
This is a smoked gouda.
Okay, so I don't even know what Gruyere is. All right, so those are two
Kind of
different cheeses.
Yes, they
All
are
right,
two different
so
cheeses.
that is a smoked
This
gouda.
is a smoked gouda.
How you doing? We got smoked
That's
gouda.
what we confused with a smoked Gruyere. Anyway, all right.
Boom.
So 1 pound of that.
All
All
right.
right. We're gonna cube that. You can get it any way you like. If you want to do it in, I don't do it in slices because that's just a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So cube this. Cube the American cheese. We've got half of one white diced onion. We've got 1 whole Serrano pepper. Leave as many or as few seeds in as you like, depending on your heat preference.
Okay.
Another reason I like to put these in here is they do have a little bit different texture, as well as you're going to just get some color in this thing, right? We're going to go with some mild green chilies because this is going to be our sort of kids down one. Go with whatever green chilies you want. I'm using some canned green chilies. You can also make some fresh ones if you like.
Okay.
The canned ones are nice though too because they are going to give a little bit more liquid.
Yep.
And really, we want that consistency. We want a cheese that's really goopy and just you can really kind of get on it, you know? We're gonna go with 1 can of fire roasted tomatoes, or do your own fire roasted tomatoes. Fire up that smoker early, get a few of your really favorite heirloom tomatoes is my preference really, right? Get those on there, do a little fire roast on them, dice them up, throw them in. Again, we wanna keep the liquid. This liquid's gonna help us to get that consistency and that texture that we want in the cheese.
Beautiful.
I've also got some chopped cilantro. I did about half to 2/3 of the bunch. You want a goodly amount. This is really go to taste. You know, think about how much you want. One little trick that I like with cilantro that I learned actually from my mother-in-law was, you know, you save yourself the hassle of chopping this out on your board, then you got to transfer it into a receptacle or whatever.
All over the place.
It gets, it makes a mess. Your board's all green, and you don't want to cut anything after that. Instead,
100%.
what I do is I get myself a nice glass measuring cup, get yourself a nice pair of shears, and just go at it and just chop away.
I like it.
You can add in a little bit as you go and just keep bringing it down.
Okay.
The other nice thing is you'll get a lot of that that crushing effect, which is really what releases all the flavor and the oils out of the cilantro. You're gonna
that's
get
key
more
right
of
there.
that in there. If you do a nice clean
Yep.
cut with a sharp blade, it looks pretty. But we want flavor. We don't want prettiness. We want flavor. That's what we're going for here.
100%.
All right. Two last ingredients. We've got one is going to be 1 can of cream of mushroom soup.
Wow.
Probably sounds insane, I know.
I had no idea you would even put that in.
This is the secret weapon, everybody.
Wow.
If you are not using a cream of mushroom soup inside your cheese dip, trust me, there's going to be a huge difference in texture, and the silkiness of the cheese itself is really coming from, this is how you get that done. This is the secret weapon.
But I never known. That's crazy.
Crazy, huh? It's all about chemistry. This is one of those kind of old school cooking techniques
All right.
when you do these types of
Kind of like
recipes.
anchovies in barbecue sauce, and no one really realizes that
No.
you put that in. It's a secret ingredient.
Absolutely.
And the best barbecue sauces out there is anchovies or anchovy
100%.
paste or whatever it is.
Oh, you get that brininess that just
The
elevates.
saltiness, the earthiness.
Yeah, it just elevates that flavor.
does.
Last, but definitely not least, I use 4 tablespoons of a really good coffee rub. I make my own. There's dozens, if not hundreds, online you can buy. Find your favorite.
Really, really good. Actually.
Favorite rub guy, get his coffee rub. If you want, do your own coffee rub. That's always fun. I love making rubs myself. So I whip this up. I'm going to use 4 tablespoons of this mixed in. And then, really, why I think this can be a meal, we're going to go with 1 pound of ground chorizo. And I'm going to show you about that on the next step here. So that's it. What I'm going to do, Greg, is I'm going to get to cutting up some of this cheese.
All right, let's do it.
All right, and
Yeah.
then we can keep going on what we got to do and start browning chorizo.
So bing, bada, boom. Let's
Just
go.
need some big cubes. We're not really looking for a sexy cut here. You know, eventually all this is going to do is just melt right down.
Okay.
So, you know, we're not bothered. I just throw it all in a bowl when I'm done. And just get that ready, because the cheese is actually the last thing that we're going to throw in. Everything else we want to get in. We want to get some of those flavors working ahead of time, and then we'll put the cheese in. And then we didn't even melt the cheese pre. The cheese melts on the smoker, right? That's another key step to this.
Okay.
All right?
Yep. And while you do that, I'm going to go check the offset because I need to throw a couple more logs on. Most
Oh,
likely.
excellent.
So
Greg,
we're going with some oak wood, and I actually just sliced up some nice thin pieces of cherry.
Oh, that's my
And
favorite.
just seasoned. It's just about ready. It's catching nicely. Man, so much,
I can't
so
wait,
much
Greg.
goodness.
I love cherry wood on anything.
All right, so we're gonna finish cutting this cheese. We'll be back in a minute.
All right, everybody. So what we're going to do now is we're going to brown off our chorizo. So I've got my cast iron Dutch oven. Always go with cast iron when you can. Of course, you can use whatever you want, but my preference from a flavoring standpoint.
He said Dutch oven.
Greg loves a Dutch oven.
Oh, my wife loves a good Dutch oven. Moving on.
But what we're going to do here, you know, pretty stock standard, guys. We just want to brown this up. Now, once you get the chorizo browned up, you've got a choice that you get to make. And really, I leave this up to you guys. I think it comes down to personal preference, comes down to probably dietary considerations. Do I drain the oil? Do I don't drain it? Do I drain the fat or do I don't drain the fat? Excuse me. For me, on something like this, I don't want to lose any of that flavor. Because I'm going to add in a half of a white onion, which is really going to pull out a lot of that and it's going to suck it in, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to drain the fat. I'm going to leave the fat right in here. Greg, how about you? Are you a leave the fat in kind of guy?
I'm a leave the fat in type of guy.
Excellent.
Fat is flavor, brother.
Absolutely.
That's just what it comes down to.
100%. All right, so we'll get this going around. We want to brown this up good first. Greg's got the winning combination too. The best thing you can always do with cast iron is a gas stove. That's
Gas is key. I
Gas
like
stove.
cooking on gas when I'm cooking inside versus, electric. But
yeah. I mean,
there's some
come on.
really nice,
There's no substitute for a gas stove top, man. There really
Right.
isn't. Especially when you're cooking with cast iron, I think. If you've got regular pans, then other than it's a better. Obviously, there's better heat conductivity. That's the only advantage you really get at that point. But
Right.
cast iron just works better on flame.
Right.
Another thing, guys, I want to mention too. Don't be afraid. You're going to use cast iron like I do. Don't be afraid. Just put this out on the grill. You can just do this right out on the grill. You know, if you're running a hot smoker because maybe you're doing something a little bit different that day, and your temperature's high enough, and you want to do it out there, that's fine too. Another advantage of using cast iron, much like we're talking about with this gas stove, right? We're not afraid of damaging anything. We don't care about what happens to the outside.
I mean, your wife's not going to yell at you for splattering oil all over the kitchen, Mike.
That's another big positive, right? And what do we always say?
Happy wife, happy life. Cheers to
guys.
that.
All right, so once we've got our chorizo browned up, guys, we're gonna go ahead and add our onions and start sweating those down, right? And I really like to get A bit of sweat on these. I'm gonna actually turn this heat up just a touch more. I want to get a bit more on there. All right. It's just diced onion. I used a white onion. Sometimes you can use a yellow onion. I wouldn't use a red onion on this, Greg. I don't know how you feel about red onion. They have their time and their place, but I think in cooking like this, they tend to just overpower everything.
I would probably go with a sweet onion in this situation. Yeah. Whenever I mix beef or usually, you know, if I'm making
Something a
like
bit
a
lower
ground
key,
beef or
right?
something, I usually use white, sweet onion. Like you said, they all have their place.
Exactly. So go ahead, we can add in, you know, it really depends. To me, these are all still in the aromatic category. So add them in as early as you want. It's really up to you. I like to really get all my flavors working in together. Really, that's the point of having this stuff in here. It's not just about sitting on top. It should be combining in with your flavor fully. So I'm gonna wanna get some heat on these, get them sweating, start to get them a bit softer, you know. Again, we don't want crunchy stuff. This is a queso dip, guys. We don't wanna have, texture's one thing, but I don't know, I find it a little bit off-putting. It's too much like a salsa if I've got all these big chunks of everything running through.
Salsa. Salsa.
Everybody
Salsa.
watching, what's the over-under on Greg getting the word salsa right?
It's salsa, right? No, it's salsa. It's salsa. Oh, this cheese. I love cheese.
Good cheese too, man. That's some nice cheese. That's gonna make it really good.
Look at this. Let's just get in here for a hot minute.
Come on, look how nice that looks. What a good blend. You know, look, and again, guys, queso dip should be about experimentation. To me, the best part about doing queso dip is the fact that there's 1,000 recipes and 1,000 different ways to do this, okay? So experiment. Please, by all means, experiment, do different things. Send us your guys' ideas and what you guys do, man. We'd love to see it on the New England Pitmasters page. What kind of fun stuff do you guys put in queso dip to kind of to elevate your queso dip, to make it something that's uniquely your own, right? I do chorizo and I do Serrano. Some people might do no sausage and just keep it all cheese, or maybe do poblano peppers. That might be a good thing, man.
Ooh, that sounds
Or if they
delicious.
do like some nice chipotles or something with that adobo sauce.
Oof.
I'm gonna have to think about that.
That sounds
Adobo
delicious.
sauce within the oh man.
Schnizzle.
All right, so we need to sweat it down pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and add in my green chilies. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add in my fire roasted tomatoes. You know, I want everything. I want those flavors running. I want to get things hot. All right, and we're running pretty good. I love the stove, Greg.
Thank you, sir.
Can't complain about the cooking apparatus that I get to work with today. I just love fire roasted tomatoes and things, guys. I use them in my chilies. I use them in my salsas. I use them. I use them in just about anything. To me, if you have a recipe that's calling for diced tomatoes, just make the leap and go with the diced roasted, guys. Really, you're not going to be disappointed.
Right. So how long do you let this sweat down for
I
usually?
might let this sweat down for maybe about 10 minutes.
Okay.
You know, just enough to heat things through, get those flavors start to mesh, and then then we'll start get the seasoning in, and after that it's cheese and the cream of mushroom soup, and we're gonna get that out on the smoker. We're gonna smoke it for an hour and a half, guys, and we'll go from there.
All right, we'll be back. I'm gonna go check the smoker. I gotta add some wood. We got that cherry just waiting out there.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be delicious.
All right, guys, so we've been cooking this down now. Our onions are nice and soft. You can see we've got all our flavor blended in with our chorizo. Next, what I'm going to do is just turn the heat off. We don't need it anymore. All right, so get the heat off out of there. Going to open up the coffee rub. This stuff is just...
Ooh, you see the brown sugar
Just-
clumped up right there?
yeah.
And that's sea salt? What do you got in there?
I get some coarse ground salt. And
Mike, tell us the recipe.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Oh, you suck.
I'm going to give you this recipe. I'm not going to give you this one. 1, count them off with me, everybody. 2, 3, don't be afraid. 4.
Wow.
Absolutely. 4 tablespoons,
Let's
baby.
go.
Oh, well, we got a lot of cheese going on. Like right now, this is the base. Right? This is what's going to, smell that
Oh,
coffee.
hold on.
You got to smell that.
Oh man, that just
So I'm
smells
give
like
you
we're
one
brewing
thing.
coffee. Yeah,
I did
that's amazing.
not skimp. My coffee rub is a Costa Rican ground coffee that I pulled the last time I was in Costa Rica for work. So this is a pretty high-end and slightly expensive.
We're bouncing off the walls after this chili dip.
Absolutely. All right, guys. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to add in my cream of mushroom soup. I'm going to add in my cheese. We're going to go on the smoker. All right.
Woo! And we'll get some cherry, some oak. We're going on the Brinkman offset.
Oh, I can't wait.
See you guys outside. All right. Mr. Mike, the Hamel. Where are we at right now?
Where we at? We are standing in front of your Brinkman we have got our queso dip. We've put the cheese in. We've put the mushroom soup in there.
Okay.
And what we're going to do now is we're going to open up our offset. I feel very privileged to be able to open Greg's offset myself. Can't tell you guys how excited I am to be
You've
here.
seen it on TV.
That's right.
And online, and here you are in person using it.
So all we're going to do really is just slide this in, cover off. We want that smoke on this cheese, man. We want
yes.
to get it all on there. And don't show me, show the product. Look at how good that looks,
Delicious.
guys.
It's going to be amazing.
Rolling, what are we rolling? We're rolling oak.
Oak and cherry. I got some
Oak
fresh
and
cut cherry right here. It's just going to be... Oh, love the smell of cherry this time of year. It's so good. So right now, the fire's looking actually pretty good. I just put a big one on there. That's some oak. That's going to go. That's going to burn down. We're going to make our coals with those smaller, thinner pieces down at the bottom. And we're going to play some Tetris. We're going to move the top one down. Bada bing, bada boom. And then we're going to throw these cherries on. It's going to be so good. What do you think, Mike? So
That
good?
is awesome. So we're going to see you guys back in about 45 minutes, and we're going to do some fun stuff and take a look and see how this queso dip's coming along.
What are we doing in 45 minutes?
Oh, you just wait.
We're going to stir it up. It's going to be so much fun. See you soon.
All right, everybody. So we've been smoking this queso here for about 55 minutes or so. We're going to take a look at it. Probably needs a stir. Oh yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Ooh, man. Well, that's not going to really melt nicely.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Everything's
Smells
melted.
so good, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that's chorizo. Oh, wow. So how much longer do you think?
I think we're going to go for at least another half hour, maybe 45 minutes before it's really at the consistency that we want.
Oh, no. We got to get the fire going. Woo-hoo-hoo.
It's all right.
Got a piece sitting right here.
Stand a little closer.
Flip that over. Throw that on there. Get that thing going real quick. All right. Oh, that looks amazing. Look at that, man. Oh, man. What do you got?
Now what we're going to do is we're going to stir in about half a cup fresh chopped cilantro.
Ooh. That's beautiful.
That'll do.
Mm-hmm.
Stir that in really good. Leave it on for another 45 minutes. We're going to crank the heat up a little bit more. We want to start to get actual smooth consistency to this and a nice skin on it.
Nice piece of cherry going up in flames right now. Oh, it's going to be good. So what, we come back in about 45 minutes and taste test this?
You got it.
Oh, yeah. Mike the Hammer.
Stay tuned.
Woo! Here we go. Okay, everybody. We are back inside. It has been, I don't know, what's total cook time on that?
About 2 hours.
About 2 hours. The smoked queso dip is done. I want to show you guys what this looks like. Mike is plating it right now. It just looks delicious.
Is I'm going to top it with a bit of fresh chopped cilantro as well, so just get a little bit more of that sweetness in there. But this time, instead of being brought through it, it's more like a freshness. Just gives it a little bit of pop.
Look at that right there. Oh, man.
There we go, guys.
All right, so that's this is COVID style. So
One for you.
one for me. All right. Come here. Sloppy Joe, sloppy Joe.
Oh man, you could eat this on a tell
So
you what.
good right now.
Top
so
it on
good.
like chili dogs or something
Look
like
at that. Look at this.
Woohoo!
I'm gonna get into this. We're gonna do this.
Hold on.
Let's do a cheers.
2 seconds.
Let's do a cheers. Get some cilantro on this right now. Look at that. Oh
Good
man.
bite.
You can see that right there. I'm gonna get a nice hefty one right here. Cheers, Mr. Hamel.
Guys. Thanks
Cheers.
everybody. Enjoy the queso.
Oh man. Oh, dude.
That's
The chorizo in there. That salty bite. That smoky flavor from the offset. The cherry wood, the oak wood. That kick of freshness from the cilantro. Dude, come on.
Oh, it's delicious.
Look at this. Guys.
Woo!
Oh. Check it out. We're going to give you the recipe. Check it out in the comment section below. This is smoked queso dip the way Mike Hamel knows how to do it.
Thanks, everybody.
Barbecue Broker, Mike Hamel, New England Pitmasters, Pit Life Barbecue. Hope you guys have a great afternoon, and we'll catch you next time. Later.